Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maida and you're watching Maida Pours. Thank you so much for joining me today. If it's your first time here, you are very welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, well, thank you so much for coming back. It's nice to see you again. So for today's pour, I am going to go over my color palette with you. The inspiration for this pour came from a suggestion on my community tab. I had posted a picture of all of these extreme sheen paints that I just got. I made an order from the Decoart website. I broke down and did it, paid the shipping, but now I have a lot of extreme sheen colors to choose from and it's pretty exciting stuff. I asked for suggestions on color palettes and somebody suggested kind of turquoise and blue. So this is actually Brilliant Blue by Liquitex Basics, but it's very close to turquoise. And then I also got Ultramarine Blue, which is just one of my favorite kind of shades of like a middle blue. And then I have two Decoart extreme sheen colors I'm using today. Now she suggested berry and gold. I opted for pearl kind of because I've never used pearl and I'm really curious how it turns out. So we're gonna find out today. So I have both of these mixed up. These are mixed with 1 part paint to 1 part Floetrol, a dash of Liquitex pouring medium, and then just a little bit of water to thin it down. These paints are mixed pretty thin. I'll try to bring it up and show you. But they're still leaving a trace, and they are a bit thicker than these Liquitex, which is going to be my pour over colors. So these I actually mixed 3 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint, which is a little different than I normally mix up my Liquitex paints. I also included a dash of Liquitex Basics and quite a bit of water to thin it down because Liquitex is kind of a thick paint. And I did want this to be a bit thinner than my metallic pearl cells that I'm hoping that will push up through this. So that is the palette there. So I do have my mixing cup here. I'm gonna move these out of the way. And I've decided that I'm gonna layer these in here kind of in a straight pour style. So I'm gonna start with my ultramarine. Not gonna do all of it. And then I'm gonna pour from up high my brilliant blue. And then I'm gonna pour from up high more ultramarine and brilliant blue, ultramarine. Now pouring your paints this way is gonna do 2 things. It's gonna make air bubbles, so you definitely need a torch, but it's also gonna kind of create some cells and formations. It's gonna cause the paint to mix in the cup. And I generally think it makes pretty effects. So I like pouring my paint for a straight pour that way. I find it fun. But again, it is going to create a lot of air bubbles. So you are going to need to pop those with a torch. If you tried to do it any other way, it would probably bug you. I mean, you can pop air bubbles with toothpicks and stuff like that if you don't have many, but this technique, you are going to create a lot. So I'm gonna bring my canvas up here. Okay, here's the canvas here. Get that out. And before I do anything else, I am going to be pouring down my metallic pearl colors. I'm gonna get them right here in the center. I'm gonna start with pearl, and then I'm gonna pour my berry right on top of it. And next, I'm going in with the berry. Okay. How do I always manage to splatter it just a little bit? Okay. So I'm going to pour this over. I'm going to stretch it and then I'm going to torch it. Okay. So first I pour. Whee! I do like to pour from up high. That's pretty just as it is. Look at that. Now I'm going to stretch it. I'm going to go corner to corner because I tend to have good luck with that just in general. and bring it back to center, and then go to the next corner. I'm going to turn it around. To last corner. You can do it, paint. The last corner always takes the longest, but be patient, let it flow over. I do tilt these quite a bit faster than I would normally tilt, say like a flip cup. But the idea, oh, you can start to see it. The idea is basically that you kind of want to get it covered before the cells start forming. Now I am going to take my torch and we're going to pop air bubbles and hopefully kind of open up some more cells. Okay, and now we're definitely getting some stuff happening over here, starting a little bit over here. I'm going to see how much paint is on this canvas and see if I need to take any off if it's moving too much, okay? So it's definitely moving over in that upper corner, I would say the most. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to take it off a little bit further down that corner. And not too much. We're going to turn it up here. And I'm going to stretch it back down towards the center. It's like when you stretch it over the corner and then stretch it back, it's kind of like you thin the paint out enough for the cell to pop open, and then you kind of like pull the paint back in a little bit to just kind of keep it moving towards the center of the painting a bit, as opposed to just sliding off the edge completely. Hopefully that made sense. Okay, so I think I was able to get enough off of this corner for the cells to start forming over here. And still just sort of testing it, seeing how everything's moving. Okay, so it's moving, but it's not moving too much. I'm going to torch it again. Use this torch. That blue is giving me an underwater sea vibe, and I'm loving it. This is almost like a coral reef feeling to it, because the berry, I think the pearl, although there's parts where the pearl is definitely making its own, we'll see what happens in the end, because I definitely see the pearl almost reminds me of like bubbles. And then the berry reminds me of like a coral reef, but it's not done developing. So we're gonna have to give this some time see where it goes. Okay, so here we go. I think this is pretty much all done. It's been sitting here for a little while, not too long. It might develop a little bit more, but it's pretty much done, I think. I love the blue background or foreground, however you want to think of it. I really love combining my paints that way because it mixes the paints together, but when you have really beautiful like blues that are going to combine to make another cool color, I love that effect. So apply it accordingly. And then the berry and the pearl. Now the pearl's a little underwhelming as far as cells go. However, I love the effect it gives, which is almost like they look really like bubbles here, like something's going upwards. I would love to hear your thoughts on this piece in the comments. If you liked this video, please do hit that like button. It really does help with the algorithm. And if you enjoy watching acrylic paint pouring videos, well, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification so you get told when I post new videos, which is usually about twice a week. And again, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I am going to bring you in for a close-up, but I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Okay, so there is a lot of berry, but I love the color berry, so I'm pretty thrilled with that. And I love the blue underneath. It's just so pretty, those colors together. And it really does pop between those berry cells. And then I do like, even though the pearl is not dominant whatsoever, even though I used more of it, I think, no, I guess I used equal amounts. It must have either come off or the berry is just dominant. I really don't know. Won't know until I test pearl on its own. But yeah, I like how it looks like little underwater bubbles. So, oh God, I love these cells in here. So beautiful. Okay, so again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.